this is, we're gonna make this video. It's setting up the ladder truck. It's only gonna be one take, so expect a lot of mistakes here. But we're just gonna walk through setting this thing up and all the different components and everything, and try to get people so they can review this setup ahead of time, or if they ever want a review on how this is going. Here, it's the same thing as all our others. The battery on, ignition, wait for the ignition, and then start. It runs just like everything else, you know. Put the brake here, your drive. So you're pulling on scene, we have it running. You're gonna hit, put your power, set your brake, put it in neutral. And then one other thing for some style points is you're gonna hit your regen down here. You're gonna turn it off. So it doesn't go into regen when we're actually operating the ladder truck. So you're gonna wanna hit that and turn it off. Everything else is controls which you can review yourself. Over here, the front wheel lock should always be on. It should just leave it on because it will go off automatically when you're driving or whatever. So when the ladder truck is, when you're going to set up the ladder truck and start, flying the ladder, you obviously want your front wheel chock on, and then when you tear it all down, you take off, it recognizes that it's not on it, so it'll turn off automatically. So just to make things easier, just go ahead and turn it on and leave it on and make sure it is. Everything else is the same, master switch with all your emergency lights, all your floodlights, rear seat lights, everything. When you go to set up the ladder truck, siren is all the same. You can hit your stabilizer camera right here on the ladder truck. It's kind of hard to see, but it'll actually show you, as you're driving up on scene, you could hit your stabilizer camera, which is that button right there, and that will show you where you can set up your jacks on the ladder truck. Everything else, tire chains, the siren, all that stuff is the same. Operating your heat, your mirrors, emergency lights. So now we're gonna want to go set up the ladder truck. I'm in neutral. I got my front wheel lock on, got my emergency brake on, and you're gonna want to hit aerial master, aerial PTO, generator PTO. Just hit, because just in case you need it, which you probably will most of the time, and the stabilizer camera is already on. So just go through, get all that stuff, got it in park, got all that stuff on. Now we're ready to set the ladder truck up. All right, so we only have front wheel chocks. Always go on the driver's side, front wheel. And so Benner's is setting that up. Now I just like to take my pads, throw them out. I'm gonna need them. Okay, we come on this side. Go ahead and throw my pad out kind of where I'm going to need it. All right, now also, as you can see, I purposely parked the ladder truck in a hole here to make sure that it's slanted, because it's always not just a perfect setup where you're going to be. So we parked it, it's clearly slanted to the right here. When we set these jacks up, we're going to want to set the high side first. Okay, so come over here, open these up. Okay, now I'm going to want to set this up. When we set these jacks up, this is what, these buttons here are what control the jack, and it's the same on both sides. And so you're going to want to go out with the jack and hold it until it doesn't go anymore, and then down with the jack so it goes down, and then you hold it. You'll hear the beeping, but you want to hold that down until the beeping stops. You don't want to just hold it down and you see the jack hit some weight and then stop, because then it won't level right. You got to go back through and reverse everything. So hold it down until it stops, okay? And you're gonna look at this rear stabilizer control and you're gonna think that you have to do this. This bottom rear stabilizer control is only for taking the thing down or emergency override, which we're not even going to go over that because it should never be used, but I just will mention it for a sec here. So that is just to take the ladder truck down, and for emergency override is the only reason why you want to do that. Otherwise, everything is done here to get the jacks out, and then the level assist, which I'll show you in a minute. This is the emergency hydraulic power, which operates that. I'll talk about that briefly. And this is override, which we never want to do. And that's why there's a big red switch on that. All right, so first I'm going to hit this, put the jacks out. Okay, it stopped. I held that button down and it stopped beeping on its own. Okay, and I went on the high side where I'm slanted. Okay, now I'm going to want to do the same process over here. So I'm going to hit this, I'm going to hold it. Okay, now I'm going to put down, I'm going to hold it down until. Okay, now this is the part where people will get messed up. Now they want to go there and hit the rear stabilizer to hit the rear one, which is right under here, to make everything stable. But that's not what we do. We go to the level assist. I'm going to hit it and I'm going to hold up the level assist, but I'm going to hold it up until it's completely done. What you'll see is it'll adjust both arms. It'll adjust arms on both sides and get it real level, and then it'll start to do that, the middle one, which takes a while to do, so hold it until it's completely done with the process, okay? A lot of people will let go because they think it's done, but just go until it's done leveling completely out and all the beeping stops, okay? And you can hit it on either side, level assist here or level assist on that one. I'm just gonna do it here, I'm gonna hit my level assist. There. So you can see it took a long time, and that one went up a little bit, and then this one came up a little bit. That kind of adjusted themselves out, and then the middle one went out. Okay. So now you can see all three of these lights. All three lights are lit up, and they're ready to go. So where you will see that change is short jacking it. So let's say we short jacked it on this side, and we brought that jack in because we couldn't extend it out. You will see one of these green lights, this one right here, not lit up because you're not all the way out. So let's say this was only halfway out and we short jacked it. That's the one time you'll see that green light not lit up, depending on what side. So the rules of short jacking is we don't work on the side that we short jack. So the goal would be never to short jack, never to short jack. But clearly, it's an emergency world we live in. We can't always live by that. But if you can place the ladder when you're a driver to never short jack it, that would be the best case scenario. If it is short jacked, you do it on the side that you're not working off, okay? Everything else should be pretty normal, pretty much the same. All right, so now we got it all stabilized. Now let's go up and fly the ladder. So we're up here, we got all the jacks out, we're ready to fly this thing. Really not much different than anything that we've had in the past. It's the controls are all the same, nozzle controls are all the same. You have your emergency stop. You do get it up and you got it. You got people working off of it. Hit your emergency stop, so no buttons or anything can be pushed. And then we'll get this down and we'll bring it down over here, and then we'll take a look at the front of the ladder, okay? So Same thing, raised, you'll see it's pretty fast. And what I'm doing now is I'm just going to get the ladder and I'm going to bring it down to the ground so we can look at the front of it, because this is definitely something we want to look at the front of it, how it's all set up. Okay, so this ladder is different than anything we've had before because of it has no platform. And so there's two ways that we operate this ladder, and that is from we call it rescue mode, or what was the other, fire attack mode, right? Rescue mode, water mode. So what that means is we always are going to leave it in rescue mode. And what that means is this nozzle will stay at the last platform, like the third, I think there's 4 of them here. So the third platform, it'll stay. So this whole last section of the ladder will extend out, and this nozzle will stay at the back. And so you bring all this out, and this is a working end right here, and all this red stuff is all reinforced, so we can work off of this with rope rescue or whatever, and we don't have the nozzle to deal with. It's always in, we're always going to try to keep it in rescue mode, like probably 99% of the time. If we do want it in water mode where we're flowing water, we could actually flip this thing right here and put it so that all this water stuff stays with the ladder and goes all the way to the end, and then we can flow ladder off the top of it. Even when it's in rescue mode though, and this doesn't come out with the last section, you can still flow water off of it. It'll just be, you only have 3 sections, I think, of the ladder. You can still flow water, you can do all that stuff with it. And you can even extend this off of there. It's just you're going to flow water down there at that third section, which I'll show you exactly how to do that here in a minute. But with this water, if it's in rescue mode and you flow water through it, this whole piping section will fly off with the ladder. So you have to make sure that you are in, that you're not in water or rescue mode and then start flowing water. Did I put that on pause for a second? Okay, so if this thing is not lashed down, this whole thing will fly off. So this always has to be lashed down, but this is where it gets really tricky. If you want to, right now it's in rescue mode, so you could take this and put it into water mode and then flow some water. But the problem is when you do that and you pull this out, this whole thing can come flying out. But you have to lock it down. So if it comes out like this, I got to get up on top to do it. So, all right, one thing I want to go over is this remote. So we have a remote for the ladder truck. And to get this programmed in, all you have to do is make sure this is on right here, that's on right there, and then right here you got to turn this on, and then you hit this green button right here, and that syncs them together so you can start to control. You should just be able to hit, yep, so I got that, the green button. And now the controls are all the same. You have an emergency shut off if somebody's on the ladder. You have all your controls for the nozzle right here, and then this is your control for the ladder truck. So let's say I want to extend it out. You'll watch that. I'll push it up and just extend it out. Okay. All right, so you can operate, I'll let you hold that. So you can operate this whole thing right from this remote. And that's how you turn it on. Turn that switch on, green button, and then you'll hear that. Or that green light will That green light will come off, and that just syncs it with.
Okay.
All right, so as you can see, it's in rescue mode, so it's kind of going out here, and the nozzle is staying back here for rescue mode. If we wanted to put it in water mode, we'd have to bring this thing all the way back. So let's go ahead and bring it back. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it. All right, so this lever right here is what puts it into fire mode, which means you're fighting fire, spraying water, and this thing stays at the end. If it's pointing this way, that means it's in fire mode. Right now it's pointed this way, so it's in rescue mode. 99% of the time we want to keep it in rescue mode, and then and if we want to put it in fire mode, you have to do it before you extend this section out, because once this is extended out and it's in rescue mode, this nozzle will be back here, and then you can't get it into rescue or into fire mode. And so if you want to do it right now, it's extended back. If we want to put it into fire mode to keep this thing at the end, you've got to turn this nozzle, this lever right here, and have it pointing forward. And what it does is, if you can see this right here, you can't just do it by hitting that lever. You have to come up here and actually move this to lock it in, right? Will you move that back again? So that's locked in, go all the way. Now that's locked into rescue mode, now go into fire mode. So we have to get this out here like that, and now go, and he's gotta get it, and it's gotta connect right into there. Now put it into rescue, or into now it's in fire mode. So now it's locked in fire mode. So it's not just a matter of hitting that lever, it's actually, you have to come up here on top and make sure this is locked in. If this is not locked in, and you put this and you started spraying water and this up here was not locked, you would shoot all this stuff, all this whole nozzle and the piping systems would shoot right off of this ladder. So that's why it's so important to have this locked in. If you go and you put it into any mode, in fire mode, rescue mode, or anything, always make sure that this thing is locked in. All right, so let's go ahead and put it back into rescue mode. So he's gonna undo that, it comes up, and we're gonna make sure it gets, and it pops right into there. There. Now he's in rescue mode. Gotta make sure. It's kind of crappy that we have to do that, but that's just the way it is. And so now when we're operating off of this platform, we've looked at the remote. If you're hooking ropes and stuff up to this, and we'll do this in the training, we've kind of talked about this is all rated for all kinds of rope rescue. So we can tie ropes off of this thing, and we kind of decided to go right here because these holes and stuff kind of have some sharp edges, but it's not saying we can't, but it's ideal that we go off of these smoother edges right here when we're tying ropes up. It's also noted that this thing is rated for less than our other ladder truck. It's like 750 pounds on the tip. So if you got this thing fully extended out and you're doing a rescue and somebody's on top of this thing, you're creating a dangerous situation. So just keep that in mind. Usually just one person on the top of this. You can see the foot pegs down there. It's like a working end. So when you're working off of the top of the ladder truck. What other kind of safety thing do I want to bring up about this ladder truck right now? It's got some plug-ins right there. We are looking at getting some parapet ladders and some smaller ladders, and also some hooks and stuff for some tools to hang off of this thing to work on. But that's kind of the that's kind of a real rough overlook of this ladder and how things work, but we'll play with it during training. And there's just one more thing I want to show you guys over here. All this stuff is for some override systems, but you can actually look at here and watch if you ever have to operate it and override, and we can operate all the stuff from here. But like I said, it's probably something that I should, you know, we're never going to do, and hopefully we're calling the mechanics or something if we ever get to that point. But that's about it in a nutshell, and yeah, I hope we have some good training. Now we're going to put the ladder truck back. We'll put it all away, and so kind of the same thing. And the best part of that is you can do it right from the remote controls. We can put this thing away. So let's go ahead and do it, and it'll stow itself, and you'll see here what I'm talking about in a second. So. Straight as I can, as straight as I think it is. And now I can lower it. And when you go to lower it, it'll start to level itself out. So when you bring it down, it's the same thing. Just hold it down, and when it gets down, you'll see the ladder truck kind of move side by side a little bit, back and forth as it goes and starts to put itself in. So let's go ahead and watch that process. Time, and you'll see it start to move, see it slow down on its own. I didn't do that. And you'll see it start to move around and level itself out. It'll go back and forth, it's finding its sweet spot. It always seems to go to the right for some reason really far. I think the computers are just trying to program or whatever. One of the bad things about this one when you're stowing it is you'll get a boost when you're on top and you're looking at the PSI. You'll see our other ladder truck, it'll drop the PSI really low, so you'll know that it's stowed. This one doesn't do it, so just keep holding it down until you think that it's stowed. Okay, now let's go ahead and pick the jacks up. So on this one we do, we're gonna just pick up one side or the other, and if it's super tilted onto one side, you can always bring it up. Okay, so when we're picking these jacks up, this is the one time you're gonna use this, so you pick the center one up first. A lot of people will be down here, they're looking to see if the jack's coming up. You don't even have to look down there. You just pick it up until the alarm goes away. Now we're going to want to pick these up. These ones I'm going to go back and forth because they're on a slant, so I don't want to drop one really fast and not the other one. That's all there is to it.